Hello guys, so in today's video we're looking at the Worktuff Gear Bear Claw that's going to drop pretty soon on the Worktuff Gear website. Alright, so let's take a look at the knife. Alright, so here's the Bear Claw. As you can see, obviously it uses the same handles as the Kodiak and it's similar to the Grizzly knife. So overall, the length is 15.2 inches with a blade that's 9.9 inches. The thickness is 0.23 inches or 6 millimeter thickness. The steel here is a Bowler K329 and the hardness is HRC 59 to 60. As you can see here, it has a saber grind with a secondary convex and has a very nice and long swedge here to have a pretty sharp point. So here the handles are G10, as you can see, with the hidden lanyard in the back. You can easily put your paracord lanyard there. All right, so let's start by doing some cutting tests. All right, so let's take a look at the sharpness of that knife. Super sharp, very nice. So we're going to continue doing our cutting tests using different materials. We got paracord here, got some plastic rope here, got some natural cordage, we got some thicker rope here. So let's start with the paracord. Very easy, no problem at all. Let's move on to this plastic rope for a weed eater. Super easy. The natural cordage, no problem at all. And this thicker rope here, easy. All right, so let's go outside and do some more testing. So I did a lot of batoning with this knife, all sorts of wood, mostly hardwood. I batoned through some maple, also some thick oak, some seasoned oak, like this piece here, and it worked perfectly. So even went through the knots, no problem. So as you can see, it's quite efficient because of its geometry. It'll baton very well. As you can see here, you can even use it to split like a small hatchet, and it works very well. So even though it's a big knife, you can use the finger trill to choke up. This really changes the balance point, makes it more neutral, and it's much easier to do finer tasks like here preparing these feather sticks. And because of the convex edge, you're able to glide through the piece of wood and make some pretty fine feathers that you could light up with a ferro rod. So here you can see that with the proper edge geometry, you can even do some carving, some notching very efficiently with a big knife. And it goes through the wood, no problem at all. So one difference between the Bear Claw and my other designs is that Bear Claw definitely has a sharper tip. It's a more acute tip, so you can definitely use it to drill some holes in wood. It's very efficient for that. Another feature that I really like to have on my survival knives is the 90-degree spine. And despite the long swedge, you still have a very sharp spine. As you can see here, you can light up your ferro rod and make tons of sparks. So I've been using the Bear Claw for many months now, through the winter and the spring, and I've been using to process wood on different trips, camping trips, hiking trips. It's very efficient. Here you can see that, very efficient tool to remove some limbs, and as a chopper it works extremely well. It's not the heaviest knife, but still it chops extremely well. So if I compare it to other knives with a 10-inch blade like the SC Junglist, the Bear Claw definitely chops way better. So since the release of the Kodiak and the Grizzly, many people have asked me for a version with a more sharper tip. So that's why I designed the Bear Claw. So as you can see here, even though the tip is sharp, it's still very robust. It can pierce very efficiently. I did a lot of tip testing with that knife, prying through logs and torquing it pretty severely. Despite all the abuse, the tip remained straight. It didn't have any deformation whatsoever. So it can really handle all that work. Alright, so in conclusion, what can we say? Well, the bear claw is definitely a hard-use knife. Also, definitely a very multifunctional and multi-use type of item. You know, you can use it as a chopper, you can do some batoning, but you can also choke up here, and then becomes a very versatile tool to do some finer tasks. And this tip is very acute, but still robust enough to do some prying, etc. So the knife is going to drop pretty soon. It's going to drop on Wednesday, May the 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested, go check it out on the Worktuff Gear website. All right, thanks for looking.